Well, he definitely has the knowledge. I mean, if he has the magic touch now, that depends on the dressing room. It depends on the players how they handle his messages. I mean, he has all the knowledge. He proved it all over the place. It's down. I think it's really down to, and now especially with Gareth Bale, it's the desire of the player that decides where do you want to go. You got to ask them in their faces, saying, Harry Kane, how do you want to look back at your career in 5 years from now? What do you want to look back at? I mean, have you won then certain titles? Gareth Bale won titles with Real Madrid, but now how hungry is he? Maybe he's becoming a kind of a mentor for Harry Kane in a different role. Maybe you can utilize him differently. But they have to find that drive from the inside of the dressing room. They need to decide, okay, how do we want to look back at our career? And that's what it all drives. And I hope really that Harry Kane, looks in the mirror and says, what? I mean, I have such a tremendous, potential. I've proved it on international level. Obviously, the Champions League final, reaching that a year ago was unbelievable. Blah blah blah. But you want to look back and say, I want this, and this in my career, because he owns that to himself. And that was the reason I left when I was 30 years old at Spurs. I had a wonderful season when I played actually against Craig when he was at Chelsea, and became Player of the Year. But I had to leave because I didn't have the opportunity with Spurs to compete for titles. So I left. I went to Bayern Munich and I won 3 titles in 2 years. And something is just, it's really, really important to that dressing room at Spurs. They have to determine how far they want to take it. And I think now with Gareth coming back there, I think he can actually help them a lot, giving them a vision, giving them some leadership, giving them some direction. And if we look together, I mean, we watched this game with Schalke today, getting basically embarrassed completely. There was zero leadership. There was no character on the field that did something different after they were down 3-4, 5-0, and so on. So Jose Mourinho has all the knowledge in the world to get them to a title, but it's the dressing room that decides it. How far they want to take it, how much they can suffer, how much they can sacrifice themselves for the cause. And now it's going to be an exciting Premier League season coming up, that's for sure.
Jurgen, isn't it up to him, though, as coach? Like, it's him who has to drive that dressing room, isn't it? That's his job. That's why he gets paid all those millions.
Well, I mean, obviously the manager gives the guidance. He's trying everything, to keep everybody balanced, to keep the chemistry positive. But at the end of the day, the manager sits out there. He cannot score goals. He cannot defend. I mean, as we saw today with Bayern Munich beating Schalke 8-0, what can the manager do there? If they don't step it up, if they don't do any fouls, if they don't, stay close to their marking and all these things, you're just helpless. So certainly you have an influence, especially in the English game, where you call it for that reason. You call him a manager. So meaning you have the authority to run the entire technical side of the game. Which in Germany is a bit different. You have their sporting directors, you have technical directors, and blah blah blah. Other people as well involved. They give now Hansi Flick a hand in his role as a coach. That's why they call it a coach in Germany, and it's the manager in England. But even there, I mean, Jose Mourinho can work 24/7 for the entire year. If that team doesn't decide on its own where to go, how to make it happen, how aggressive they go into every single game, then it's not his fault. You cannot blame him.
I know Jan's desperate to get in to talk about Jadon Sancho again, but just I thought Jurgen left Tottenham because Colin Calderwood was his teammate, but obviously not.
Absolutely. I learned but I had to learn another language first.
Absolutely. Look, I just think the thing with Mourinho is I think he's been fighting. I don't know about if the frustration's getting the better of him, because here we have a guy that's been super successful over the years at all these clubs, but he's been fighting fires at Chelsea at the end, fighting fires at Manchester United, and he's not going to get the money that he really needs at Tottenham.
Go on, Jan.
Yeah, now I just want to say, because it's interesting to talk about what Jurgen is talking about, being the manager and being the leader of a team. What do you have to ask about, you ask yourself or ourselves about Jose Mourinho, is that I was a great fan of Jose Mourinho when he came to England, how he improved a Frank Lampard or a John Terry. But you have to ask yourself, does he reach this new generation of players coming through now? That is quite interesting, because you don't need this, or you need a different leadership maybe on different times. And if you see the managers now, the trend now with an Arteta or a Lampard or a Solskjaer, and still Jurgen Klopp very close to their players, Hansi Flick very close to this new generation of player. My generation, I had a manager in England who said the F word 52 times at the halftime, and I know because we counted it. And this new leadership that you demand now in 2020 is different. Does Jose Mourinho still got that? And I agree with Jurgen. Yeah, it's up to the players. Jose Mourinho can't score the goals, but still, when he kind of controls the dressing room, he has to kind of send the right words, and he just have to be on the right channel as the young players of 2020.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.